know. It's the Premium Pete Show.
Bun B, can you sign this for me? I don't even know how these people knew where I was staying. I ain't know where I was staying. And I get to the hotel. Right hand to God. You know what I'm saying? And this world, this amazing world, man, it just keeps opening itself up to me. And I keep seeing things. This year we had, I was on with Ken Griffey Jr.
That's right.
On the rally.
How is Ken Griffey Jr.?
Ken Griffey Jr. is one of the best people I've ever met in my life. And it has nothing to do with baseball. Ken Griffey Jr. is a goddamn fool.
Why say that?
He is
Why
the
say that?
best. I mean that in the best way. He is the best company you could ever have. He tells funny jokes. You know what I'm saying? He got all the stories. And all he really want to do is sit at home and fish and drive his car every now and then. But, I mean, never met anybody that big, that iconic. Like, he and Hasselhoff are like the most self-deprecating people I've ever seen in my life.
David Hasselhoff, right?
Yeah, David Hasselhoff. To be so famous and be so amazing at what they've done in their life and how much they've accomplished, and still, every morning be like, "What's up, B? What's going on, baby? Let's do this." You know what I'm saying? It just amazes me because Ken Griffey Jr. is literally, one of the greatest to ever do.
Sure, as a legend.
What he does, what he did. And David Hasselhoff probably, I don't think very few people will ever be as famous around the world as David Hasselhoff is. You know what I'm saying? There's pretty much not a country left he can't go to where they don't even know who he is, either between Baywatch and Knight Rider. You know what I'm saying? So, but I say all that just to say, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? There's no cap on this. You know what I'm saying? I'm really, really blessed to have had the life that I live right now. You know what I'm saying? My family is good. Wife is happy. The kids are happy. Grandkids are happy. New album coming out Friday. I couldn't be happier, man. Things are amazing.
In this day and age, so many people look to success as material things. And it's funny that, you're called an OG, Trill OG, Triple OG. So many, and that means, somebody who's obviously grown and seen a lot and more. But the point I'm making is success to me, success to you, success to somebody else could be so different.
Yeah.
Where you are at right now, what has been success to you?
Just the fact that I have a happy, healthy family. You know what I'm saying? Because, wanting money, you can have money and not have peace. You know what I'm saying? And when you need peace, money can't help you. Sometimes money gets in the way of it, you know what I'm saying? Or the need or want of money. Now, I'm not saying people shouldn't go out and get money, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not happy now, don't think that money's going to make you happy. Money's going to temporarily fill that void with something that you're going to have to pay for every time to feel that way. And then as soon as you're done doing it, the void is back open again. So money can't make you happy, But just knowing my family is healthy and knowing that I love them and they love me, for me, that's really all that matters, because all that stuff goes away. You lose the money, lose the career, all of that stuff. Your family's still your family. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we think that if we buy our kids, enough shit, you know what I'm saying, that our kids will love us. But our kids love us. You know what I'm saying? It's letting that other shit get in the way. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I mean, that couldn't be more true, but more importantly, too, when we speak about stuff like family, you speak about stuff that means so much to you. Sometimes I think about, like, taking times to remember the moments, and it's funny because I think we spoke about this before, but what does a bucket list look like? You know what I mean? What is something that you look like before you want to go? Like, many people don't prepare for their future. Many people don't prepare for, like, what will, their funeral. Like, think about it. Like, very few people, like, say, you know what? I'm going to put $10,000 for my funeral. So, because most people have to pay for funerals when people pass away. But even in the sense of, like, a bucket list, do you ever think like that? Because I'm starting to think like that. Like, is there things you? I mean, obviously, I think, did you see the movie with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I didn't before, right? Because I didn't know I was going to have the life that I have now.
Sure.
Right, and so I've seen enough in my life to realize that anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I started saying, let's go do some things. Let's, I mean, we woke up one day and Queen was like, I want to meet. This was back when Barack was still president. Queen was like, I want to meet Barack Obama. And I was like, well, they ain't gonna let us meet Barack Obama. She was like, you don't know that. You don't know that. There's a lot of people met Barack Obama. You don't know that. You ain't never asked. He might be a fan. It's like, Barack Obama don't listen to UGK. She's like, you'd be surprised who listen to UGK. Calling people and telling people you want to meet Barack Obama. Yo, we were like 5 minutes away from meeting Barack Obama. Like the phone call got very deep. It got very deep inside. And then it was just like, they couldn't find like, it was time or whatever or something like that. And he was getting ready to get out of office. So he really was, just fulfilling his last obligations or whatever. But Queen was like, we need to find out if we can see Barack Obama before he's not president anymore. So we did go to the the White House thanks to you.
Yeah.
Thanks to you hooking us up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's funny that the internet's probably like, how the hell you go to White House because of me? Hey, listen, this is before Agent Orange, okay? This is before all.
Pete was the plug. I literally got into the White House, the East Wing and the West Wing.
Yo,
you can't really get in the West Wing. I bet it's even harder now.
Yes.
I bet it's much pause. I bet it is much more difficult.
That was a good pause.
I think it's probably much more difficult to get into the West Wing of the White House right now.
It's funny too because I think being friends for a long time, it's like I think of you in so many ways as myself. And what I mean by it is you're the person that could go hang out with college kids and then millionaires and then fucking rock star band and then artists and then in the hood. And then it's funny that you bring up with the White House plug. It's like, I remember my mother, telling me at a party one time, she's like, how do you know so many different people? She's like, I know what's his name was here. He's been in jail for 10 years. And then you got a lawyer and a Secret Service guy here. And I'm like, Ma, don't ask too many questions, okay? And remember, don't write nothing down. I said, okay, Pete. But what I'm saying is like you, and we spoke about this. I call you all the time. There's certain people who are diversified chameleon. That is you. Like, did you ever like realize like, holy shit, like I can fit in anywhere?
That was a concerted effort. Like I never wanted to walk in the room that I couldn't contribute to the conversation. So I had to make sure I knew a little bit of something about everything. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit of something about a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's gotten me very far in life. You know what I'm saying? To be able to communicate with people on their level really is what happens. Is that if people are talking politics, I can talk politics. Doesn't mean I have to take your side, but I know how to express my opinion and have the conversation. And that's important, you know what I'm saying, to be able to walk in a room and say what you need to say to whoever needs to hear it.
Sure.
And that's been able to get me in very far in life.
Yeah.
Not being scared to have conversations with people, you know what I'm saying, in order to, let people know who you are. A lot of times they're going to prejudge me because I'm a rapper. So if I don't explicitly let people know who I really am and what I know and what I'm capable of, they're going to write me off.
Yeah.
If I sit in the back of the room and just try to look like a rapper, they're just going to make a bunch of assumptions about me. But if I step into the light and, speak my mind and voice my opinion, and I can do it in a respectful, articulate fashion, and people, give me a second consideration.
Sure. As they should. I remember you speaking a long time ago that Pimp and you, something about Jordans. Remember when did someone make a Jordan like low top for him and he was like, yo, we made it. Remember he told you something?
What happened was, they did make a low top Jordan for him, but that was
later on
when he passed.
Yes.
But he would always say that the only brand he wanted to be associated with was Jordan. Because Jordan only fucked with the best people who was the best at what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Rice was the best receiver.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, if Jordan brand fuck with us, that means we the shit. You know what I'm saying?
So
and by the time he came home, I had that relationship with Reggie. And we came home, and the first video we did was The Game Belonged to Me. And he's wearing like the white, red, and green Spizikes.
Okay.
I got him the Gucci colorway Spizikes.
Nice.
And he loved it. He was like, where you get these from? I said, I got them from Jordan.
What'd he say?
He was like, word? He was like, man, we sponsored by Jordan now, dog. He was like, man, we'd have made it. We'd have made it like a motherfucker.
It's funny you say that for because that's always stuck, in my mind, like of how much he was like, yo, if Jordan fucked with us and we made it. And then you look at somebody like Travis Scott from Houston who, and it is dope, man. I had to look at them a couple of times in the beginning before I realized how dope that color is, and it may
really
just
is.
be the Tennessee, no, the Houston Oilers color, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember that as a jersey that was dope, you know. But you know, him getting a break like that. Do you ever think like this? I'm not saying you did this, but like people like you in Houston, people like Pimp in Houston, so many more other people, kind of like open the doors for like artists like that to be able to do this faster. You know, Jordan Brand wasn't really like making a shoe for, you know, people at that time, right? You know,
Right, no.
not saying you did it, but you know what I mean? That's a big deal now that you look all these years later.
Well, I'm just happy that, you know, one, that these brands are starting to recognize and acknowledge that, you know, these artists move product, and if people see us rocking shit, they're going to want to rock it.
Sure.
And they're instead of just stealing the culture now, they're giving us these sponsorship opportunities and actually paying us to design shoes to make an even stronger connection with the culture and the local community. And, you know, I applaud it, man. Like I said, anything that doesn't happen to me, I hope happens for the next dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what happens, you know what I'm saying? As time goes on and things mature, opportunities that you hope somebody would get. You can't be selfish about it.
Sure.
You got to be like, if I don't get it, I hope somebody, you just say, I hope somebody from here gets it. Hope somebody from Texas gets it. And so now we do have people like Travis Scott, you know, who gets these opportunities. And even like a Beyonce who gets to decide who gets to shoot the cover of the September Vogue magazine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, every little bit matters, and every little contribution that we can make to the greater good and to make the city look good. That's what we here for, man. That's one thing about Houston. We trying to make the city look good. You know.
You know, if someone listening who never been to Texas, particularly Houston, what would you say is, because Houston, I think what people don't understand is I remember you telling me this one time, there was a magazine, you were telling me how it's one of the top, like, I forgot what we were talking about. It was like the top visited or top
most diverse right now.
Yeah, with the restaurants and everything else. I forgot, like, but if someone's listening right now and never been to Houston, what's somewhere people got to go if they come to Houston? Like, what's like a day in Houston?
Oh man, that could be a multitude of things. I would definitely say,
just from your opinion, I guess.
I would say go have breakfast at either the Breakfast Club or Snooze. Probably Breakfast Club because, you know, Snooze is more of a chain. Breakfast Club is like one place. I would tell them to definitely go to Breakfast Club and have, you know, either breakfast or lunch. I would tell them to go to Herman Park. You know what I'm saying? Walk around Herman Park, maybe go through the Japanese Garden, or go over by the lake, you know, go to a little pedal boat on the lake or something like that. And if it was a Friday, I would tell them to go watch a high school football game, you know, for Friday night. But if it's not Friday night, I would still tell them to go to Discovery Green Park downtown and just kind of maybe sit in the park, watch the sunset. You know, but I would definitely tell them to do that later in the day because it's hot as hell in Houston right now.
Let me tell you something, man. The return of the Trill.
Yes.
Okay. You know, are you doing it on a label or is it independent?
Well, it's on my label, independent, but it's distributed by Empire.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And how many tracks we got on here? 14.
14 tracks.
Well, is 14, you know, is it planned that way or just happened to come out that way?
Nah, the executive producer of this album, my wife, Queenie, was saying that
Shout out to Miss Freeman.
Said that we should only have 10 songs on there, make it short and sweet, you know. But me kept sticking my nose in where I shouldn't have put it, and now we got this album with all these different songs on it. But I felt like we did a lot of great music and that, you know, we should try to give it a chance.
Well, let me go over and you stop me, you know, if you remember like a good story about in the studio how that track came together. But we start off with Trill Over Everything featuring Killer Callion. Houston's own. I like that kid, man. I feel like he stayed the same all these years. He never switched up the way he moves, you know? What made you start the album off with that track?
Well, I thought it was the right energy for the album. You know what I'm saying? It was I definitely want to start things off with a bang, you know? And so that's why that one ended up being the song that we started it off with, because it comes with a high level of energy and you know, it's definitely got a lot of lyricism to it. And that's how we wanted to start it. I want to let people know not only was I back, I was still up on my game.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to find a track list in my phone, but I don't have it. But you have it, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Recognize, featuring T.I. and Big Crit. Who is Big Crit the executive producer also on this? Or
He's a co-executive producer.
okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
he and Queenie.
Shouts to Crit. And how'd that come about? Recognize.
Well, Recognize is just another one of these tracks that Crit produced for the album. Crit, I keep saying Quit. Crit is actually not just a producer on the album; he's the musical coordinator.
Okay.
On this album.
What does that mean? What is a music coordinator?
Oh well, in this particular instance, he not only made music for it, he also suggested people that we should work with, and which we worked with a lot of people at his suggestion, but they didn't all make the album. And but he wanted to make sure that we had a very well-rounded album that was cohesive and sequenced in the right way.
I mean, this is crazy how many fucking features you have on here. I mean, you got Killer Kai on, you got T.I. and Big Crit on another track. You got Know What I'm Saying with Slim Thug and
Lil Kiki. Yeah.
You got Out of Season featuring Big Crit. You got Trap Hands featuring Yo Gotti and 2 Chainz. You got Blood on the Dash featuring Gary Clark Jr. Myself featuring Run the Jewels, Killer Mike LP. You got Rude Boy featuring Lil Wayne. I mean, come on. I mean, Hoes from the Hood featuring Beat King, Slow It Down, Never Going Back featuring Giggs. You a Bitch featuring Pimp C. Was that an old verse that he had?
It's not a verse. It's actually some snippets of him talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
So we had a verse that we would try and incorporate into the album, but like I said, there's a lot of music that didn't clear sample clearance, and then the Pimp C thing, we just couldn't get it through the estate in time. But we're gonna bring that on the next album, so there will be an actual Pimp C verse on the next album. But a lot of people under the assumption that I'm sitting on a bunch of music, and verses and stuff like that, and I have to explain to people all the time that I don't control that. The estate controls that. And it's not like the estate didn't want me to have a verse. We just couldn't get it done in time. By the time I had a track that I felt would have been right for him to be on, we just didn't have enough time to get it cleared.
We definitely spoke about this before in the episode we did last year, but you spoke being about more mindful about making more and more music, because this is, an artist. This is your, your what you leave behind.
Right,
all the building a catalog of more and more. And I know you've been very mindful of that and doing that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've over recorded with this process. Like whenever we had a good day, we go in and we just record until, it was like, okay, we did a couple of songs today. We'll just figure out where they go later. And we did a lot of days like that. So we're probably sitting on, now that this album is coming out with 14 songs, we're probably still sitting on 45, 50 songs.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying? Which is a lot for me. That's a lot of music. But
that is a lot.
But, I definitely want to have, and we're going to be releasing a lot more music more often. We're not going to be waiting a year and 2 years to drop music. I may drop another album either at the end of December or the 1st of January, But, just being very real about life and how things work out. I don't know what tomorrow's going to be like. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I left enough music behind, because that's going to be one of the main sources of income for my family should something happen to me, will be the catalog that I leave them behind. So, and now we're in a position where, we release these albums, but we still own the masters. You know what I'm saying? So any album that we put out from now on, we own the masters too. And any music that they would put out, after I passed away or whatever like that, which I don't want to die anytime soon.
No, me,
you know what I'm saying?
You ain't going nowhere.
You gotta go, but I just don't want to go no time soon. You know what I'm saying? I still got a lot more I want to contribute. But in the event of something crazy happening, that they don't have to be struggling to maintain a certain quality of life.
You got Grow Up featuring 8 Ball and MJG.
Yes.
And what if you could say something about 8 Ball and MJG? I mean, what would it be? I love when people talk behind other people's back, but on good levels.
No, these dudes are, like I told them, they are the one of the last of the Mohicans. You know what I'm saying? They are still the same 2 dudes I met, 26 years ago. They are, it's amazing to see their friendship endure all these years, you know what I'm saying? And they're still making music. They're actually making a movie now about their story. And man, they're they're the funniest dudes in the world to be around. Like MJG is just so very funny, but in a very dry kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying something funny, but he gonna let you laugh at it like first before he even makes an acknowledgement that it was something funny. It's always a good time with them. You know what I'm saying? They're always smoking on some good weed, like the best weed. Like as long as I've known them, they've always had the best weed available. You know what I'm saying? We be in the same city going on a mission, and they always gonna come back with better weed. Always. And
stay with that sticky.
And their friendship is real. Like it's not fabricated.
Which is rare.
You know what I'm saying? Their friendship is real. You know what I'm saying? They are really down with each other, man, and it's a beautiful thing to see them still making music to this day. I just saw them at my listening event in Atlanta. They came through. It was already over, but they just wanted to come through and show some love and support the movement. And they were like, yeah, we finna go back to, we was doing something today because we just started filming our new movie about us. And I was just so happy to see them, you know, be able to have something like that acknowledges the amazing contributions that they've made. They are Southern legends, no way around it. You know what I'm saying? They are some of the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to have had them as contemporaries, you know what I'm saying? Because we all started at the same time, and, you know, we would watch them do something and look at their album cover. Oh, man, we got to come hard. And, you know, it's a little back and forth of that of you know, not competition, but like acknowledging the peers around you that are doing it at a high level, that push you to do it at a high level. You know what I'm saying? We were like that with Outkast too. You know what I'm saying? We'll look at them like, man, Outkast doing it big on that one, man. We got to come hard. You know what I'm saying? So it was a nice, friendly competition amongst friends.
You know, I feel like there's, you know, you think of Outkast, think of Ball and MJG. You know, I feel like at one point in time there was a lot of minks. You know, like people were wearing mink coats. Would you say Pimp is like somebody who inspired people to wear mink coats? Or would you say it was a bunch of other in hip hop?
No, I wouldn't say that. Maybe after 2000, but I mean there was always this element from the late 80s, you know what I'm saying, that proliferated through hip hop fashion wise, where dudes who emulated and looked up to a lot of the old school street cats, they would pull out the mink coats. I think Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying, the old Mike Tyson fights, you know what I'm saying, really inspired mink coats. But I mean, like as far as like going with the mink coat and the suit and the gators though, yeah, like in hip hop, yeah, that's definitely Pimp. You see somebody, you know, trying to pull off that full look, they trying to hit him a Pimp C. Straight up and down.
And that is just shopping in Houston, like they had places that had the gators and the minks, or
yeah, but I don't think he got that made in Houston. I think he got that made in Georgia.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, I know there's an old lady that make a lot of these outfits, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. She's like the Dapper Dan of Atlanta.
I'm not saying in Atlanta. I know there's an older lady that do a lot of these suits and stuff. I never wore any of that shit, so I don't know where they're getting it from.
You didn't put a mink on ever?
With me, I put on like a mink jacket, you know, like a mink bomber.
Okay.
But not like a full body mink. I bought my wife a full body mink, but I always wore mink bombers.
You know, the last track on the album is called "Gone Away."
Yeah.
Featuring Leon Bridges and that boy Gary
Clark Jr.
Yeah. What's up with Gary Clark Jr.? How did you even get that?
I mean, I met him a couple of years ago. You know, he's literally one of the best people to ever play guitar. And I was like, man, I would love a scenario where we could do a record together. And he was always open to the idea. And then when I was in the middle of recording this album, we were like, man, we should really see if we can get Gary Clark Jr. to play on this record. I was like, well, I'd like to have him on this record and this record. So the actual conduit for all of this was Saman Ashwari.
Shout out to Trill Gladiator.
Young Trill Gladiator, Saman. So he and Gary are good friends. And he was like, yo, I can reach out to him and see if he's open to it. And he was like, yeah, Gary wants to do it. Send me the records and I'll make sure he gets it done. And, you know, Gary's a very busy man, but shout out to Saman for really, like, sticking with it and making sure that it got done. And it's, you know, that record there is featuring Leon Bridges, you know, who is the epitome of soul music and soul singing right now. He's a young dude from Fort Worth, but he's an amazing talent playing all over the world right now. He's very unique in his approach and his delivery and just his whole aesthetic, man. He's very genuine. And, you know, he was down to sing on the record and I probably made a really good record with that record. I mean, I don't knowingly pat myself on the back, but that's a really good song, and it's dedicated to Pimp. That was the only way to close this record out.
Internet's Gone Away, featuring Leon Bridges and Gary Clark Jr. You got to check that one out. Listen, you know what? Let's take a quick break. Me and Bun are just catching up, man. Project is out. Return of the Trill is available everywhere. Streaming. Any vinyl? Any?
Yeah, but we couldn't get it done before Record Store Day.
Okay.
Because vinyl turnaround is real. Like, it takes a long time to get an album back.
Yeah. Well, it's available everywhere. Okay. Internet's Return of the Trill. It's funny because it's like Return of the Trill OG. You know, I'm gonna put that on there. Return of the Trill OG.
That's what's up.
Internet's. I'm here sitting up. We chopping up, catching up with my brother Bun B. Don't go nowhere. Be right back. Cheer.
This is Lilo Brancato, a.k.a. C from the Bronx Tale, and you are tuned in to the Premium Pete Show.
Internet's, and we're back. Sitting here with my brother, the Trill OG, Bun B. Cheer. We spoke about bucket list before.
Right.
And I think, we went on and off about it, but did I ask you, what, if there are some other bucket lists that you have that you want to do? Like, I know I don't want you to die. I'm not preparing for you to die. I love you, my brother.
I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to speak anything into existence.
But he's gone, and there's nothing we could do about it.
I would, I'd love to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
You know, performing or a skit. I'll take either one. That's about it. I wish I was in the physical shape to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'd die on that mountain.
What about skydive? You ever skydive?
No, I'm open to it.
Yeah?
I'm open to skydiving.
That's not scary to you?
No, because I do roller coasters and all that type of shit. Now, I went parasailing and I wasn't fucking with that at all.
Why?
Because parasailing is not meant for overweight people. It's not meant for big people.
Why? What happened?
Because you sit on something that's very thin. Like the thing you sit on when you parasailing is probably no thicker than the arm of this sofa right here.
Yeah.
It's very thin, and you got to try to, you're buckled in, but it's very uncomfortable. It was very, very uncomfortable. I couldn't get comfortable, and then you're in the air, so you don't want to do too much moving around and playing with the situation. But,
shit, man.
I did it because Queenie wanted to do it, and I didn't want to seem like.
Yeah,
I didn't want to bitch out.
Yeah, no, I get it. What about touring? Are you gonna do any touring?
Yeah, we're doing shows right now. We've been doing a couple of shows to promote the album, and then we'll go out, and once it's released, we'll go out and support the album. I got a big show this Thursday.
In Houston.
In Houston.
Okay, nice. And you gonna plan to do for an album? You're gonna put out a couple of cities?
Yeah, definitely.
What's the best cities that I mean, there's so many, but I'm saying, what's the cities that really, really, is it South? I mentioned before it was what the fuck? Where's Yo Gotti from?
Memphis.
Does Memphis fuck with?
Yeah.
Do you know like your core like certain? Like,
absolutely.
What is it?
Yeah, it's like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, DC, and then probably like the Seattle, Tacoma area. We do pretty good up there, and the Bay Area. Fuck with us.
What's a Bun B rider looking like today? And for those that don't know what a rider is, if you could explain to them.
Yeah, a rider is what you tell the venue that you need in your dressing room prior to your show. So some people be like, I need chicken wings.
Sure.
I need
champagne.
Yeah, I need a bottle of champagne. I need some beer, some shit like that. We usually do a bottle of vodka, a bottle of champagne, and a bottle of something brown. But we very seldom drink that shit backstage. I'm just taking it back home.
All these years of being backstage, you ever feel like you wanted to be in the crowd? And not meaning when you perform. Meaning like, and I realize it's just from being around a bunch of different artists over the years. Being backstage and all that, and it's cool. It's great. It's great to be, especially when you with people and you see them perform. It's a proud moment. But sometimes you feel like you miss some of the things. You ever been like backstage as not a performer, but like where you're like, damn, I probably rather be in the crowd.
Yeah. A lot of times we'll go backstage and see somebody at a show, and we'll say what's up before the show, and then try to go get a good spot in the crowd if it makes sense. Like you go to Coachella or something like that, it doesn't make sense to try to get in the crowd because it's too hectic, out there. It's a wild element. But yeah, if somebody's in like a House of Blues or something like that, I'll go say what's up to them backstage, and then I'll try to go get me a good little spot upstairs somewhere, watch the show.
As we wind this down, you obviously used in sports, used in everything you're involved in. Now when the Rockets were in the playoffs, weren't you performing in the in the pregame?
Yeah, I did something up with the Rockets.
Now how important is it to for them to reach out to you and get they get the community, they get the culture, they get what I mean? Like it's like they're not blind.
There were a couple of opportunities, a couple of years where they would bring certain people out and let us perform like in front of the arena, especially during playoffs. They were always kind of good with that. They let a lot of different acts go up there, but we got a new owner now. Tillman Fertitta.
Yeah.
He's got the TV show $1 Billion Buyer.
Yeah.
And he's been very personable in the city. Most people kind of know him in the city. And so he's been real big at like bringing people out, putting us on the floor, having to shoot this first shot. He has a charity thing where if you make the shot, you get $5,000 for your charity. And even if you miss, you still get like $1,000 for your charity. Yeah.
Fuck. Remember we were on the floor with that time with Jeremy Lin?
We had no, I was like, who is this kid?
Yeah. I was like, who is this Asian guy fucking getting buckets? And turns out like the next 2-3 weeks later,
It wasn't even that far. It was probably like 3 games later, he played Kobe. That's when he got busy against Kobe.
I was like, what the fuck? It's funny too, because, we were, earlier you were running around and, we were talking to a bunch of different people, and you mentioned Mike Bibby. Mm-hmm. And I remember that game, Mike Bibby played for the Knicks.
Yes.
And he came up to us and he dapped you up before, you left. When's the first time you met Mike Bibby, man?
I can't even remember now. I feel like I've known Mike all my life. You know what I'm saying? But I met him at a game, you know what I'm saying? And we got real cool. Me, him, and his brother Dame got real cool. And they used to hold me down. That's who literally introduced me to like all the higher ups at Jordan Brand. You know what I'm saying? They would get some shoes in and be like, yo, Bun, we got a couple of this, we got this and that. You want some shoes? Dame would call me and be like, you want some shoes? I'd be like, yeah, send me some of that Team Dime shit, because they used to get the Air Force Ones with the Team Dime on a logo stitch on the side and shit like that. And then, they called Reggie one day. They're like, Reggie, yo, this is Bun. This is our man. Make sure, take care of him. Send him a box or something. And me and Reggie got to know each other. You know what I'm saying? We ended up getting real close. And so it really reinforced my relationship with the brand. And that's when they're like, yo, can you want to come out and perform at this event? And it didn't hurt that our relationship came together right around the time that the All-Star game was coming to Houston.
Sure.
So those kind of opportunities came up. But then even out of the city opportunities, he would ask me. I was doing actual lectures for Jordan Brand.
That's great,
about the connection between sneakers and hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I did that a couple of times. And it was just a beautiful opportunity that never would have happened if it wasn't for Mike Bibby just being a good dude,
It's amazing, man, how relationships and networking and just being cool with certain people open up so many doors, And
it's crazy because a lot of the people that I meet that are like I always tell people, all the people I know that are athletes, I very seldom go and see them play. I think Stack 5 is probably the one that I've gone to see play the most. Yeah. But most of the people I know, like I'm real good friends with Kendrick Perkins. I never ask for Cavaliers tickets. You know what I'm saying? But I'll go to his house, play some dominoes while he smoke on a Black and Mild and shit, And, Lord Jamar is one of my longest friends in hip hop. We've only ever done one song together. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of my best friends. I've known him for 20 plus years now.
Well, Jamar, man, I remember all the stories about, him bringing you and Pimp around and the city and New York, man. That's classic stories. Listen, internet, if you want to hear the full in-depth episode I have with Bun, go back and check, just Bun B. That's it, the episode we did about a year ago. But as we talk about the sports, what would you say is some of your favorite sports moments and sports history moments?
Oh man, Vernus Maxwell hitting that 3-pointer.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That was a big day for me. I think one of my craziest sports moments in my life would probably be from last year's Astro season. I was in the game. That's the longest playoff baseball game in history. We went on like 14, 15 innings or some crazy shit. And I was it was me and my wife and Paul Wall and his country singer Clay Walker, and
Yep.
we were all in this room, just in this suite watching this game, and the game went on forever and forever and forever. We just like, I know they're gonna win. I know they're gonna pull it out. And then Bregman hit the shot and brought the run in, and then, after that we just there was no beating us after that. I knew we were taking it the whole way.
And you motherfuckers won the World Series.
That's amazing.
Yo, how about
Still
this?
blows my mind.
How about this? Somebody made a petition for Bun B not to be at the fucking games because he was a fucking jinx.
Which is crazy because every time I've ever performed before any sporting event, they won. Nobody's ever lost when I performed before a sporting event.
Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah, I know this guy.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I called him out on it, though. Called him out. His mom tried to take up for him, too.
Yeah.
But
Fucking put him right in the trunk.
Forget about it.
Right in the caddy. It's amazing though, but that was the year that they tried to sign a petition.
Yeah.
And the fucking Astros, and you're there at every game, and the Astros
Courtesy
win
of the
World
team.
Series.
Courtesy of the team. I haven't bought a sporting event ticket in years.
And they won the World Series.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, I
was on the stage,
bro.
I was on the stage with them when they gave, like, they had the trophy and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? The organization let me get on the stage with them.
You're a fucking jinx. Could you imagine somebody calling a jinx at the?
You don't let somebody that's a jinx touch the World Series trophy.
Let me tell you, man. I've seen so many with the Yankees, man, and it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, you guys have all the trophies.
No, I'm saying it was an amazing feeling. How amazing was that for you?
It was ridiculous. It probably was one of the longest nights of my life. You know what I'm saying? Just every pitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could feel it in my soul. Like every pitch of Game 7. Like I just remember we were all in 8th Wonder Brewery and just watching that game, just, go back and forth and all the way. And it was just, I remember watching those last pitches and I was like, yo, we just won the World Series. And we were just going ape shit in that room. We were really, really going ape shit. Everybody in the room was all good friends, and we all were it was like 30 of us in there, just all watching this game. You know what I'm saying? Because Game 7 was out of town.
Sure.
And man,
it
still blows my mind that we actually won. Like, looking back at the parade and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? 1 million people in the streets of Houston. It was insane.
Yeah.
Like, and they told me, it was like, yo, if you can get to the stage, we'll put you on. But like, I didn't have any help, so we had to walk through all the people. And like, it got so crazy at one point where our group separated because we simply couldn't. It was like 8 of us trying to walk together, and then we ended up getting separated, and then we caught back up together, and then we ended up like going under a rope and realizing we were on the parade route and like in the middle of the street, and we didn't know what was going on. And then I saw the police chief, and I know the police chief, and I was like, Chief Acevedo, and he was like, Bumby, what's going on? I was like, yo, I got to get to the stage. They want me at the stage. So he put like an officer on us and like, yo, walk them. So we walked the whole parade route. Like, for 5 minutes, we were the parade. Before the players and shit came out, we were just on the parade route. It was me and Trey the Truth. And everyone's like, Bumpy, Trey the Truth. And we waving and we dapping people up like we ain't win shit. But like, we're just literally walking down the parade route. My nieces always kept saying, yo, Uncle Bun, you're the parade right now. You're the parade right now. I was like, yeah, I guess I am.
You know, Houston needed that, honestly. You know, I
it
hated
was
that.
right after the hurricane. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't have happened to a better city at a better time. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of when the Saints won, you know what I'm saying, for New Orleans, you know? It was amazing.
It did a lot for the city, right? The morale. I'm sure,
no, like that one day, you know, when they actually, like, when they did the parade and everything like that, everybody forgot about their troubles and just went downtown. They just went downtown. You know what I'm saying? They just went downtown. And you know, all the problems that they had before they went downtown were gonna still be there when they left downtown, but just for that moment, we were all just downtown. We're never downtown. Like Houston's downtown is probably one of the deadest of all major metropolitan cities. There's nobody downtown like just walking and shopping and being out and about like that. But for that one day, for that one moment, all of Houston was downtown.
That's special, man. You know, I always make fun of you with this, but politics, man. Would you ever think of it? I know you say no now, but I've asked you over the years. You know, I'm asking you again now.
I see now more than ever that I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Now, but there are good people who are willing to fight the good fight, and I support them. People like Beto O'Rourke, you know what I'm saying? I support people like that, good people, Cory Booker, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's meant for me.
Yeah.
I think my calling is in a different direction. But that's today. Now, tomorrow might be different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who knows, man? Who knows? You know, it could fucking be. You know, I think it's just you've been able to be in touch with the community so much that you know, you could be, you know, what the community needs, and it has to evolve too. You know,
Right.
listen, talking about evolving too. Before we go, definitely, it's truly amazing is that Houston, and just goes to show how special it is that the H-Town Sneaker Summit is on 15 years. You know, when I tell people ask me about like you know different events, and you know we have people know sneaker cons and you know kicks fairs and Dunk Exchange. Shouts to Dunk Exchange, one of the forefathers.
Of course, sneaker pimps, things
Sneaker
like
pimps,
that.
yeah. But I feel like 15 years just show, you know, that Southern hospitality that people come out like grandmothers and grandfathers and I mean, it's just something that you've been a part of too. That you know that you see grow, and it just shows a testament of Houston. I feel like just that Southern hospitality, and just that you know.
And it's a commitment that I don't think people really give Cardona credit for. You know what I'm saying? He's fully committed to putting on this show twice a year for people, regardless. You know what I'm saying? And he's been able to create something that you can bring your children to. You can drop your kids off at the Sneaker Summit. You know what I'm saying? We're one of the few places that guarantee that, you know what I'm saying, everybody gets home safe. You know what I'm saying? We've only ever had one punch thrown at the Sneaker Summit in 15 years of doing it twice a year. So that's 30 sneaker events where we only had one punch ever thrown. Nobody's ever gotten out of there with a stolen pair of sneakers.
Stadium
None of that
status.
stuff. Not even that really happens a lot, but you know what I'm saying? It's been an amazing thing to throw this event in the basketball arena and throw it at the, you know, and these different, you know, venues around the city. You know, we just did the last one in Minute Maid Park at the baseball stadium, and for the city to always come out, no matter where they put it on at, no matter how we choose to do it, man, the city comes out and supports and has a good time. And, you know, we have, you know, a reputation at this point that we have to uphold, you know.
Sure.
And it's our little way of representing for the city. You know?
What's next for you, man? What's next? I mean, we obviously the album is out, Return of the Trill.
Yeah.
Available all over.
And then, you
Streaming
know, some more
services,
music. I'm going to try to
everything.
get another album out in the next 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Just want to be more consistent in dropping music. So in order for me to keep dropping music, I got to keep making music. So we getting back in the studio, making more shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, there's a transition coming. I don't want to speak on things before they're done, but there's definitely a transition coming. You know what I'm saying? Something I've been having to prepare for, you know, a lot of my life, especially my adult life. But there's definitely a transition coming. It's time for me to, you know, get involved in some other things. And, you know, that's why we're trying to make sure and put some of this music out right now because, you know, we never really know where life leads us. You know what I'm saying? But I want to make sure I leave a solid legacy behind and make sure that I say everything I felt I needed to say. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right on track. Listen, for the internet's listening at home or on the move, on the road, you know, maybe on a late night job. We get a lot of people who tell me that you know, truckers listening. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of UGK fans, a lot of Bum B fans, but more importantly, just your words, I feel like over the years have been able to like uplift people without even really maybe even thinking of that. What's some words you want to leave the internets with?
Stay prayed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Life is crazy. Find you something that you can believe in. You know, I don't mean you don't have to go to organized religion and sit in the church or whatever, but just find something that makes you a better person in life, that makes you love life and love people, and hold on to it. because if you watch enough TV or stroll through enough social media, you'll feel like the world is heading downhill fast. But if you got something that makes you feel good and keeps you uplifted and, you know, inspires you to be a good person and to contribute to society and to love people and treat people in a good and kind way, hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on for dear life.
Internet's the one and only. My brother. Okay? La Familia.
Your friends of ours.
Friend of ours. Bum B. Internet's, make sure you go cop that album, Return of the Trill. Available on all streaming services. Cop it, buy it, tag it. At The Real Trillionaires on Instagram.
On Instagram, at The Real Trillionaires.
Bun B Trilogy on Twitter. Add him, you know, let him know what you like about the album. Let him know what songs you like. And Bun, we'll see each other soon.
Thank you, brother.
Peace, my brother.
Peace.
Internets, if you enjoyed that episode, I want you to email me at thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com. Again, that's email is thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com. Let me know what you thought. And listen, all my advertisers out there, all my big businesses, my small businesses, whoever, a friend, a store, you want to advertise on The Premium Pete Show? Email me at thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com and let's get working. Okay? Make sure you subscribe, rate, leave a comment on all streaming platforms of the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll see you next episode. CHEA.